Hi guys, and welcome to another session of Honest Talk About Women, where you learn tips, tricks and strategies on how to navigate the complexities of dating and relationships. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also comment in the comments section. It all helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you have a story you want to share with viewers, you can contact me on my email address listed below. So let's get into it. How do women assess men? Well, most women, not all women, but most women consider men success objects, whereas men consider women based on their beauty. So as a guy, you're constantly just calculating how attractive woman is. So if you're working and a stunningly beautiful woman comes into your office to sell you something, you just automatically sense, wow, she's attractive. This is the subconscious reaction. Now with women, they're the opposite. And when they come across a guy who is very successful, or there's a perception of success with this guy, they automatically calculate, wow, this guy is successful. So it's embedded in their DNA, in their psyche, and it's been around for thousands and thousands of years. Even in the hunter-gatherer days, women will most likely align or partner up with a guy who is considered successful in his tribe or in his clan or whatever. So how do women calculate the success of a man? So it comes down to an NPV calculation. So in a previous life, I attended a top-tier business school in the United States, and I focused on finance. And something that got drummed into you very early on was the NPV calculation, and NPV stands for net present value. So in business, whenever you evaluate an investment opportunity, you've got to work out the cash flows that are going to be generated from that product or that investment, less the initial investment. So to calculate the cash flows, you've got to bring them back to day one. And as the years of a product life are extended out, you've got to work out what those cash flows are with that particular product. So the NPV, I won't go into too much detail here, guys. I'll keep it super simple. But this is embedded in any finance student who majors in finance and works in the finance industry. It's really, really important that they calculate the present value of the returns, cash flow returns of an investment. So I won't go into too much complexity, but basically the CF is the cash flow, N is for the year, and 1 plus I is the interest rate, and that's the calculation to calculate a net present value calculation. So it's no different, guys, from what women do today when they meet someone. They automatically calculate whether this guy is a success object, and it's basically it's the net present value calculation. How many years of cash flow can this guy bring in to sustain my lifestyle or have a comfortable lifestyle? And it's become even more relevant today because of hypergamy and women's rights. So back in the old days, in the 50s and 60s, women basically didn't have any rights. They were basically second-class citizens. They were part of their husband as a chattel in some situations. But as the women's right movement improved in the 50s and 60s and 70s, there became more and more equal rights, which is great. Nothing wrong with that. So previously, women couldn't buy property. They couldn't open a bank account in their own name. It had to be in their husband's name, and so forth. There was limitations on education and also career paths. So they were considered a support function to a husband. So women now have equal rights, and some would say even more equal rights than men, but that's another topic, another video. So if we look at women today, they can earn just as much or even more than guys, okay? And women have no excuses whatsoever to earn as much as guys. I know some people would argue there's a pay disparity between the sexes, but that's because certain occupations are dominated by males and certain other occupations are dominated by females. So if we look at it, how they calculate when they meet someone, it's based on no different to the finance calculation, the net present value. And women are hypergamist in nature. So hypergamy means women date along and up. So if a woman's earning, say, $100,000 a year, they'll want someone who earns the same or more. The dating situation today is a lot more competitive than it was 50 years ago, and hypergamy plays a huge role in dating. And the woman's built-in psych, the calculator, don't ask me how they do it, but when they ever come across a guy, it's always calculating how is future income streams associated with this guy that will support my lifestyle or give me a nice, comfortable lifestyle. Now, I'm not saying all women are like this. I'm just saying the majority of women are like this. So even if your looks are not that great, if you're a 4 or a 5 and you've got potential to either make a lot of money through entrepreneurial endeavors, or you're going to inherit a lot of money, or you've won money through lotto, it's most likely that that will pull a lot of women towards you. And the moment you lose that money, the lotto winnings, or the moment your business fails, or your inheritance doesn't come through because of legal issues, then there's a good chance that woman will monkey branch over to the next guy. And there's plenty of examples out there I can give you. And I've come across 2 personal examples myself. One was a woman I knew who always had male friends, and mostly the male friends of the guy she was married to. And they were all quite high net worth individuals. And there's just that situation that was occurring where should things come unstuck with this relationship, should monkey branch over to another guy. And things did become unstuck in her relationship, and she monkey branched over to another guy in the circle who was a backup option, who had net worth, a high net worth. So it was just hypergamy, and it was the net present value calculation, this working subconsciously. And you confront her about it, that particular person, and she'd deny it completely. But it's just built into their embedded psyche. And it's the same way as guys look at women as beauty objects. When you're working during a day and a beautifully stunning woman comes into your office to sell you something, a sales rep, everything is dropped completely. And immediately when you see her, you just think, wow, she's stunning. I don't know whether it be her breasts or face, her lips, her eyes, her nose, her hairdo, or whatever. Something will trigger you immediately, and your whole mood will change completely. You can be having a terrible day in the engine room. The engine stopped, staff not turning up, star wrecking staff cars, new staff starting, government employees coming in to check on your business, so forth and so forth. It can be a really hectic day. And then all of a sudden, when a stunningly beautiful woman comes across your path, all your problems go away. And it's just built into our psyche. So my second example, I met recently a Dutch woman, and she was looking at going back home because we met in Thailand, a group of us, and she was telling me about her boyfriend back in Holland. And she was telling me that her boyfriend back home was about to take her on a world trip. And I said, okay, so what are you getting? What is he getting in return? And she said, nothing. We're just doing it together, and he's paying all the expenses. And I couldn't phantom that at all. And all the other people in the group, who are quite international, all agreed with me that it was transactional. He was paying the bills, and she was given ass or booty for that trip. And she eventually came around and couldn't believe that she had subconsciously had that thought process. And it's just built into people, built into women. They subconsciously just calculate the future cash flows of a guy. So that's it for today, guys. It's just wanted to show the relevance between a finance calculation that's a lot of people use in business and in finance, and how it's embedded into the woman's psyche. And they just use it automatically when evaluating guys. And you see it around town all the time. And as long as that cash flow is coming through, there can be happy days ahead. But once that stops, she's going to monkey branch over to the next guy. And it's even more relevant today, guys, given that women are earning a lot more money than guys in some industries, or the same as guys. So be mindful when you're dating out there that usually the number one factor with a lot of women is how much money you earn. And there are a few exceptions. There can be Chad Thundercock, who is just 6 foot tall, dark and handsome. He's got the biceps. He's got the attitude. and he's got the bad boy look. That's one exception. In fact, that's the only exception I'd put on this, is that if there's a 𝗪𝗪 who has got the naughty boy look, he's got the tattoos, may have tattoos on his neck, he's got the six-pack, he's just tall, dark and handsome, and a lot of girls will just drop their clothes at seeing him. So that's the only exception to this. Again, I'm not saying all women are like this. I'm saying a large percentage of them are like this, who are hypergamous in nature and use the net present value calculation when assessing a guy. So that's it for today, guys. Good luck out there. I know it's a tough game, but be positive, keep your head up, and present well. Don't forget to hit the like button, and until next time, take care.